What is up, wrestling fans? Tony Mango here, welcoming you to another edition of the Internet Wrestling Community Outreach portion of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast for the week. We're going to be starting things off with the Smark My Words, and this week's winner is Ross for something that he left on our Mega Maniacs Facebook group, which was about the upcoming Warrior Award recipient. We were talking about the idea of, who is this football player or whatever like that, and he tossed out something which is one of those snarky kind of comments that if he wouldn't have said it ahead of time, I would have said it afterward, which was, I like how this honors the backstage staff, because if you don't know the story behind the Warrior Award, Ultimate Warrior in his speech was talking about how there needs to be an award for all the people that work with the backstage stuff and the people that are setting up the ring and doing the music and the pyro and all that other kind of stuff, the thankless jobs. And WWE the next year decided to turn it into something completely different from that. So, yeah, the idea of honoring a football player, however honorary worthy he might be, it does kind of do not the same exact thing that you are supposed to be getting the award for to begin with. So I thought that was kind of funny. So thank you, Ross, for that. Always check out his work. He does the Cheap Pop and Cheap Heat of the week for Smark Out Moments, so go check out his articles each and every Sunday for that. And thank you to not only him for leaving that comment, but everybody else for leaving comments all over the place, wherever you did. YouTube, Twitter, so on and so forth, including that aforementioned group on Facebook. Facebook.com/groups/The Megamaniacs is where you're going to find that. And that's where we do our live chatting throughout the week. Bunch of other things as well, so go ahead and sign up for that if you haven't already. The mailbag special for this month is coming up this week, so you don't really have that much time, but if you can squeeze something in at the last minute, go ahead and send that in, whether it's a wrestling-related question or not. If you want to pick our brains about something, either send us a tweet at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag mailbag, or leave an email through the contact form of the website. Whatever you send our way, we'll add that into the list of things that we're going to take care of. We're probably not going to get to every single one of them, but if you send it in, there's more of a chance that we're going to reply than if you don't, right? Makes sense. If you want to help grow Smark Out Moment for the future, there's a couple things that you should be aware of, including monetary donations, which can be done through PayPal, the YouTube fan funding module, or our Patreon account. I still don't know if it's Patreon or Patreon or I don't know. That's bugging the hell out of me. I never look it up, though. I always complain, but I never look it up. On top of that, you can also buy t-shirts, mugs, and other merchandise over at our TeePublic and Redbubble shops. We have 2 extra TeePublic shops as well, so browse the Smark Out Moment, Fanboys Anonymous, and A Mango Tea versions of those. And you can also help spread the word about the website in a couple different ways, such as the Sign Me Up initiative. So for that, all you got to do is when you go to a wrestling show, bring a sign that says Smark Out Moment, take a picture of yourself holding it up, and send that my way. Or most importantly, out of everything, you can help us grow our audience with our social media accounts by retweeting and following us on Twitter, liking and sharing our posts on Facebook, giving the YouTube videos a thumbs up, sharing everything, whether it's an article or a video on Reddit, leave your comments on the YouTube videos, leave a positive review on iTunes feed, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. You can participate in our contest on fanboysanonymous.com for a Power Rangers t-shirt. That's going on right now. And that's going to kind of merge into a little bit here because the same kind of stuff applies to Fanboys Anonymous, which is the spot for movie reviews and other things that I find interesting on the nerd spectrum. So if you want to geek out with me on that kind of stuff, head on over to fanboysanonymous.com, subscribe to that YouTube channel, follow the Facebook and Twitter accounts, and so on and so forth. And that brings us to the major topic of the video, the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him. Last week's question was, name the 3 men who were part of both DX and the NWO, and that answer was Rick Rude, X-Pac, and Shawn Michaels. In that order, Rick Rude was originally in DX, and not too long afterward, he goes over to WCW and ends up joining the NWO. X-Pac was a part of the NWO as Six and comes back to join DX to fill some of the role of Shawn Michaels. And then when they tried to revamp the NWO in the future, Shawn Michaels joined up with that. So those three are, as far as I'm aware, the only three people who are a part of both of those hugely dominant factions. So who says what here? Peter Piccinini says Rick Rude, X-Pac, HBK, gets all three correct there. Silent Wind of Doom says Rick Rude definitely, X-Pac 2 was Triple H in the newer incarnation. Not that I can remember. And you're missing Triple H, HBK anyway. So he also says, fuck Lenny Poffo, fuck David Otunga, and fuck Fastlane just as a whole. That was rough. Yeah, I had my issues with that too. Guest 5 says, a plateful, oh goody, for the plateful of nothing that he won. And follows it up when I said about a trough. He says, you can't give me a trough though. What are Time Cow and Tow Truck Pig going to eat out of? Well, I'm assuming that everybody's not going to care what Tow Truck Pig eats out of, because nobody likes Tow Truck Pig. Poor little guy. William Carey says, Rude, Waltman / X-Pac, and Hornswoggle. Dominator 39R, X-Pac, HBK, Rick Rude, Bobby Lesnar, G86, X-Pac, Rick Rude, and Shawn Michaels. So nice job, everybody. Pretty much everybody's got this all correct. So let's see if you can get this one correct. This week's question, since we know that Big Show is now not going to be part of a match against Shaq, but instead another member of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which right now only has Kurt Hawkins, Mojo Rawley, Apollo Crews, and Big Show as part of it. Figured I'd start looking into that a little bit, and I thought about something that I didn't really remember, and maybe you guys won't either, maybe you will, I don't know. But who was the first man eliminated in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the first one I should specify, and, bonus points, who threw him out? So if you think you know the answer, or you want to leave a guess, or anything else you want to toss in the comments below, go ahead and do that. Next week I will reveal the answer, and anything else that we need to break down. But that's going to be it for this week's edition of the IWC Outreach. I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and pass this all around the internets for anybody that you think is interested in this kind of stuff. Our main events this week are going to be some version of the St. Patrick's Day Superstar Showdown. I haven't quite decided yet, even though I'm probably going to be recording it tomorrow afternoon or so, I don't know. And the mailbag, so stay tuned for those two things. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and I am being counted out.